All right, welcome. Yes, welcome, Chelsea fans as well as football fans all around the world. Today, we're breaking down a huge Premier League game going down at Stamford Bridge today. Yes, Chelsea will be hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. We expect it to be an interesting game, and we are all looking forward to it as there are a lot of things that have gone down, especially for Chelsea, lots of injuries, the team form, and we'll also look at predicted lineups ahead of the game going down today. So it's really going to be an interesting game. And of course, we'll give you our score prediction for this game, and I'm sure it would really turn out well for Chelsea fans today. So stick around till the end and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and if possible, the notification bell for more football content from us. My name is Sporty Mike, and this is a preview between Chelsea and Brighton and Hove Albion. All right, so Chelsea are heading into this game very desperate to bounce back from that very difficult defeat to Manchester United. It was a game that looked like Chelsea would take it, right, if they had the full complement of the team, but it just didn't work out for Chelsea. And even the Carabao Cup game against Lincoln City was quite poor. Yes, by Chelsea standards, it really was a poor game. So Chelsea fans would have expected much more from the players. Yes, they defeated Lincoln City, but then this game against Brighton and Hove Albion will be difficult. Now, don't forget that Brighton had beaten Chelsea twice already this year. Yes, remember that brutal 3-0 defeat at the Amex Stadium. It was really difficult earlier this year. But then on the other hand, Brighton are kind of full of confidence, yes, after they smashed 6 goals past the team they played last as Barnsley in the Cup. Yes, you would say that the game was in the Carabao Cup, but winning games with a good margin actually gives your team a boost of confidence ahead of crucial games like the one they will be playing against Chelsea later today. And then remember that this same team has taken points off teams like Man City and even Tottenham Hotspur this season. So yes, they've been a hard nut to crack. However, they've been quite poor also. They've not done as much as you'd expect them to do. So there's a twist. They actually haven't won away from home in the league this season. So as much as they were difficult, they made life difficult for Tottenham Hotspur and Man City. They've actually not won away from home this season. So it means they will need to work hard. Yes, Chelsea will need to work hard to defeat this team. Yes, they've not played well away from home, but I'm sure when it comes to Chelsea, they somehow have this team. Remember, they have Chelsea players, former Chelsea players former Brighton players who now play for Chelsea, the likes of Cucurella, João Pedro. These guys would want to show that they have the quality to take this team forward. Now let's quickly look at the head-to-head records between these two teams, Chelsea and Brighton and Hove Albion. Now let's look at the last 5 times these two teams have actually won. Chelsea have won 3 out of the 5 times these two teams have played together, while Brighton have actually won 2 within this period, and there actually hasn't been a draw between Brighton and Hove Albion and Chelsea. Interestingly, it's always a tale of goals when these two teams meet. And remember the last time that Chelsea played against Brighton, it didn't turn out well. As I said earlier, this game was played sometime in February, ended 3-0, I think. Yes, 3-0 in February. So it was a very difficult game for Chelsea, a game that Chelsea thought they would take, but Brighton, with the likes of Mitoma, took the game from the first half and they took it up. Once they were in charge from the start of the game to the end, it was all over for Chelsea. Now let's talk about form. Yes, the form for both sides. Chelsea's last 5 in all competitions have been 2 wins and 3 defeats. Yes, in the last 5 games in all competitions. Remember, Chelsea lost to Bayern Munich. Now, Brighton's last 5 are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Yes, including the big win, that victory they had against Manchester City at home. But remember, they are playing away from home now, which has always been their boogie. It's always a challenge for Brighton and Hove Albion. Another problem is Chelsea's injury list is piling up. Yes, it's really not something that Enzo Maresca and the team actually likes right now. Now, the key man for Chelsea, Cole Palmer, is injured and he's likely out until after the international break due to a groin injury, a groin problem. Tosin Adarabioyo is also not available, likely out till October. And Wesley Fofana is also sidelined. In fact, he's sidelined for a concussion. And that means Chelsea would struggle to really get the best 11. Also, remember, Levi Colwell is out till sometime next year. The Delap is also out. Esugo is out. These players are not available. So it means Chelsea are currently lean. In fact, there were rumors that Chelsea will likely have to bring in the likes of Raheem Sterling, who has not had an opportunity to play a game this season because the team is quite lean at the moment. So it's a challenge. There are some positives though, the likes of Romolavia, who has returned to fitness, but can he play? That's a challenge. We know that young stars like Magui and Josh Achipong are available. Yes, it's a good thing that these two young stars are available, especially for Magui. I think he has a part to play, especially with João Pedro preferring to play as a 10. So if Magui starts and you have João Pedro playing as a 10, I think it would work out quite well for Chelsea. But now let's look at possible predicted lineups for this game. Sanchez will return. Yes, his 1 match suspension has been taken care of, so I think he's going to return to this game. So Sanchez in goal, Malo Gusto would play, Chaloba, Hato in defense with Cucurella. That's what I think this team would look like. And then Reece James, Caicedo, Esteval, Fernandez, Neto, João Pedro are the other players that will take care of the game. Now, I know a lot of fans would have preferred to have Magui to start so that João Pedro will play as a number 10. But for some reason, it looks like Enzo Maresca has not gotten the confidence he would like for Magui to start games. So, but I'm very confident that he will have a part to play, especially if the game is looking very difficult and Chelsea needs to change or tweak the game a little bit for them to tackle Brighton and their very rapid attack. Now let's talk about Fabian Hassel, Fabian Hassler, some want to call him, who is the manager of Brighton. Now we know that he has a near fully fit squad. The likes of Matt Withia and Maxime de Coop are back and available. And his star players like Yakumba Minte and Gruda, yes, Brajan Guruda are fit again. They're available. In fact, for me, the key man is Yakumba Munte. Once Minte is available, it shows he has a almost complete squad that can prosecute this very important game. However, they will still be making Jack Wood, who is not available and will not be playing this game for Brighton and Hove Albion.